Yeah, everything is communism. This is why, like, what does cancel even mean anymore? What does communism even mean? Do you think they think that's what communism means? I have no idea what degree of sincerity we're working on here. Can I just delight in something with you guys? Just a little bit. Can I just have a little moment? Every once in a while, I'm browsing through Newsmax TV and I see something that tickles my fancy. I don't even care that this is like a week old. Representative Greene temporarily banned from Twitter. And I saw the first, like, 10 seconds of this, and I just want to watch it with you guys. I saw, like, up to here, okay? What, 20 seconds? I don't know. Why are you doing that to yourself? Well, it is a little bit funny how this channel has completely imploded. Like, the view counts on these videos are pathetically low compared to what they were before. And Fox News is doing fine. Like, 500,000 to 1 million views on clips uploaded daily, you know? It's just funny how they were all talking about how Fox News is done, it's all over, it's gonna die, it's gonna be destroyed, and that Newsmax and OAN are the way of the future, and now it's just like another YouTube channel, you know? Anyway, just delight me, okay?
Congresswoman, I think we have breaking new news on the censorship front. Unfortunately, tell us what has just happened to you on social media. The
censorship front.
Well, as if my speech hasn't been canceled enough this past week, now Twitter has banned me for 12 hours. And this just happened. I found out from my staff as
12 hours. 12 hours. And she's on a news station about it. What? How long did it take them to set up this interview? Like, by the time this was recorded, it was probably like close to being done, right? Or actually done?
I was looking at Twitter and I was saying, what's wrong with my account? And we got the notification that I've been banned for talking about COVID-19. You see, all I stated on Twitter was that COVID-19, the vaccines should be optional. No one should be forced to take them. Our military.
Wait, who's forced to take them? They are optional.
Should not be forced to take them. So
wait, actually, hold on.
The military should not be forced to take them.
The military should not be forced to take them. Actually, yeah, they should. The soldiers have to get vaccinated for everything else. You think you can just be in the military without your immunization report? Yeah. They're soldiers. You're going to sacrifice military readiness? Wait. This is the political party. This is the political party that said we have to ban trans people from the military for better readiness, which went against the Pentagon, who said there was no problem with them being there. But they're willing to let their soldiers remain unvaccinated in the face of a global pandemic, which is actually worse overseas than it is domestically. Why? Yeah, they should be forced to take it. God. America's military crippled by COVID-19. Can you imagine? I think it's not optional for teachers and medical professionals. Yeah, it is. They can leave their job. If you're a teacher and a medical professional, you have no right to hold that job while not getting vaccinated. Zero. Zilch. None. Nada. Okay? You have the right to quit. That is your freedom.
So the only things I put on my Twitter page and tweeted was about information that is true statistics, and you can find on the CDC. But yet Twitter, who is playing a big part and a role with big tech and Facebook and the White House.
Why aren't you showing the actual tweet that she got nuked for? Like, if you show the ban notification, why won't you actually show the tweet? Is there something there that makes your ban look a little bit more justified than how you're describing it?
Apparently, the Joe Biden administration in censoring Americans, along with the communist cities in communist California, who doesn't believe that America first represents their values in Anaheim or Riverside. That's the other city that also banned Matt Gaetz and I from having a rally.
Congresswoman,
this is completely incoherent. The thing that really gets me, like, and I know I'm not the first person to make this claim, you know, I'm not exactly hot to the ticket on this one, but Marjorie Taylor Greene looks like a psychopath, and I just don't know how Republicans get I don't know how they can get past that, you know? What's that guy, Copeland? Kenneth Copeland, the pastor. Like, same with this guy, by the way. I have no idea how you can be a follower of Christ and look at this guy and think, yeah, he's spitting hot Jesus fire today. This is absolutely an agent of the Lord. This extremely normal-looking human. You know? I just don't know how you can get over the aesthetics, because conservatives are so obsessed with aesthetics, and they're always like posting image macros on how their Fox News reporters are hotter than like MSNBC's reporters or whatever. So I don't know how they can look at this stuff and like overlook it. You'd think they'd be like, I don't know, a little put off.
It's great to see you. You know, the last time you and I spoke, I think it was back in April of this year, you were headed to Ohio for a Back the Blue rally. That rally ended up being canceled because of security concerns, because of BLM and Antifa. There were a lot of protesters. They wouldn't provide the security for you there. So what's happening in California, unfortunately, is not something new. And it seems to me, when you see what's going on in these cities, that the BLM groups, Antifa, some of them, if it doesn't align with their values, these city officials are okay to silence you.
What if it's actually just they don't want you? Wasn't the problem that they weren't willing to provide security? Because she's a congresswoman, after all. She needs security. They just don't want to provide security? Is that it? Can she bring her own security? Isn't she like demanding something from the government and then complaining that she's not getting a free handout?
That's right. And here's what's concerning. So imagine this. Matt Gaetz and I have had 3 America First rallies. And we have seen President Trump have hundreds of beautiful rallies all over the country for 5 years. He had these rallies. There were no violence at Trump rallies. There have been no violence at our America First rallies. As a matter of fact, they've been nothing but a celebration of our freedoms and America First policies that serve all Americans. But yet these 2 cities and
I actually can't believe, is Marjorie Taylor Greene the only person who's still publicly associating with Matt Gaetz at this point? Because I remember that even Boebert like stopped engaging with him. Do you remember that? Like, she deleted tweets where they interacted with each other or something. But Marjorie Taylor Greene just doesn't care. I don't know. It's like the new Epstein couple.
And even in Ohio, because of Antifa and BLM radical domestic terrorists, who are the ones that truly cause violence all over the country, because of those people, we are being canceled, and our speech is being canceled, and we're being blamed for it. So you can see what's going on.
What are these videos from? Just wait, hold on. Out of curiosity, are these just random videos from like a year ago? Of a bunch of people just calmly standing around, like, what is this, a car on fire? Just like randomly throwing one of these videos out. Oh yeah, there we go. Washington, D.C. 2020. Thank you. I didn't see the little bit in the corner. That's very funny to me. Yeah, riot stock video.
This is communism. This is communism when you have American cities canceling 2 members of Congress events at private venues. They're also canceling these businesses' ability to be able to serve a customer and make money. It's absolutely unbelievable. And
so to be fair, isn't this literally just them not providing security? Yeah, everything is communism. This is why, like, what does cancel even mean anymore? What does communism even mean? Do you think they think that's what communism means? I have no idea what degree of sincerity we're working on here, because MTG is legit crazy, okay? When Marjorie Taylor Greene says some dumb shit, I do not get the feeling that this is some calculated move, you know? We have plenty of video evidence to confirm that she is indeed a fucking loon, you know?
everyone should be outraged.
No, and that's a great point, too, because, look, it takes a brave business to stand up to City Hall, right? The old phrase, you can't fight City Hall. Well, in this case, they chose not to. But let me ask you, Congresswoman, it's appropriate, unfortunately, it's sickening, but it's appropriate that you literally got taken off of social media only moments before this appearance to talk about censorship. But we can't just complain about it. It's important to identify the problem. We need to talk about solutions. You're a sitting Congresswoman. You're one of the leading lights of the America First movement into the 2022 campaign. What specifically should be the agenda of the America First movement. What will we do differently once we are in control of both the House and Senate to make sure that this doesn't happen? What just happened to you, what happened to President Trump on a lasting basis? What is the agenda to stop this?
Yeah, sorry, I'm looking at the news article, and yeah, it looks like it was canceled for security concerns. The reason why they're doing these rallies where they are is specifically to attract controversy, by the way. Guys, where did Trump hold rallies? Trump held rallies in Trump areas. He wanted his followers there. MTG and Matt Gaetz in Anaheim? The Anaheim Event Center? Like, okay. Yeah, the city backed out. City officials shared concerns about other events limiting police resources for the rally. Yeah. It was the lack of advance notice for an event that would attract the attention of this one would raise issues for the city. So they didn't even, like, plan that well ahead of time? Tickets to Saturday's event were free for general admission, but you could upgrade to VIP status for $250 per person. And then here's the section on Gaetz being a child sex trafficker. Absolutely necessary to include that in any piece of media about him. Don't let people forget. Where was that fundraising lay epic fail? Come on, where was it? Did I not like it on Twitter? Where was the lay epic fail-areno? Relatable language, thank you. Where was it? It was Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz raised like no money. Like zero money for all the stuff they did. Hold on. If I look at... Can I find this? Let me see if I can find this. And somebody in chat found it first. Nope, this is not what I was looking for, but it is delightful. Matt Gaetz and MTG's new fundraising committee is losing money big time. Come on, did anyone else see that tweet? It was oh, here it is. Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene's nationwide fundraising tour has been a bust, spending over $250,000 while raising less than $60,000. Yikes! Whoo! Now that is a rate of return. My God. It's a good thumbnail, too. Yeah, that's a good thumbnail. I'm really getting the feeling, you know? Really getting the vibe.
Well, thank you, Steve. I think that's a very important question. The agenda when Republicans take back the House needs to be a very tough stance. Number one, we need to secure our border. That is the biggest national crisis we are facing as a nation.
Where? How? How? Not COVID?
We have got people flooding in at nearly 200,000 people a month, all kinds of diseases, drugs, human trafficking,
we care about disease now?
People from everywhere. And we have no idea where they're, what they're doing and why they want to be in our country. Another thing we have to do is we have to crack down on this censorship, remove Section 230. These companies should not be protected. They don't deserve the protection, especially when they're working with the current regime to restrict Americans' free speech and censor our voices.
I've talked about this before, but do you know what getting rid of Section 230 would actually do to the internet? It would cause more censorship than you could fathom. If we got rid of Section 230, if I remember correctly, what Section 230 essentially means is that platforms can't be sued for the activities of people on those platforms as long as certain good faith measurements are taken, or measures are taken. So basically, if you got rid of Section 230, it would mean that if somebody tweeted out something illegal, you could sue Twitter for it. So why would Twitter let you tweet at all? Ever. Why? If that was true, the censorship would ramp up 1,000-fold. It's only because social media platforms aren't held liable for the behavior of the people on those platforms that we're allowed to do anything, you know? Like, this doesn't solve the problem they're talking about. I think they just started focusing on Section 230 because it was, like, a good buzzword. Vosh, that isn't true. Look up legal. Wait, am I misremembering? Is that a different thing that does that, and Section 230 is a different thing? I could be misremembering here. Legal Eagle Section 230. I probably can't watch Legal Eagle on stream, right? Oh, here's a short video.
As it seems to happen every few months, certain politicians are making a big
Don't
stink about
copyright
Section
me.
230 of the Communications Decency Act. The funny thing is that if they were successful in repealing Section 230, it would be disastrous for those politicians, because it does two things. Number one, it allows platforms to moderate, and number two, it provides a shield so that if a user posts something, the platform isn't responsible for that post. And while a lot of people are mad about the moderation, if that shield was destroyed, a lot of those accounts, the ones that are at risk, that are peddling conspiracy theories and are possibly defamatory, would be simply shut down. The first one to be shut down, probably President Trump's. So as the old
This was before Trump got banned from Twitter.
proverb says, be careful what you wish for. I did a whole video on this in the past, check it out. And if you like this video, check out my other Eagle Briefs where I cover the legal issues of the day. And as always,
thank you, Legal Eagle. Is that debate James Vosh? He does look like James from modern day debate, doesn't he? There's definitely a visual similarity there.
about the moderation.
Yeah, for sure.
So that would be number one on my list. Another thing we have to do that is imperative to our future, imperative to our nation and our security going forward and our children, is we have to stand up to China. We just got briefed tonight by Dr. Yan, who is a brave woman that escaped the CCP. She's a virologist who has come forward to give information. And China is a very dangerous threat to us now, but also to the future. They want to defeat us in every single way, and they have plans to do it. So we need to take China very seriously and make sure that they know we will not tolerate what they're trying to do to our country.
And Congresswoman, the people...
Man, why do, again, like, I don't understand why Republicans pretend to care about China. You'd think they'd agree on so much. Like, Republicans and the CCP both want the exact same thing, okay? They want rampant capitalism moderated only by nationalist interests. They want a tyrannical state with a cripplingly oppressive anti-free speech agenda that censors and silences people that go against the state whims. They want an active and growing military. They want to foster like a sense of delusional patriotism. I don't know. Just like what? Like why? Just because they're Chinese? Is that it? Is this a race thing? Is this racism?
People, American people really stand with you. The Hill had a piece out saying controversy equals cash for you, as well as Congressman Gates. They say you're among the top-ranked fundraisers in the House. It seems like obviously that is really resonating with the American people.
That's right. And I'm very proud to say that, and I'm grateful to people from all 50 states that donate to me. And my average donation is under $30. And you know what that means? That's regular Americans that are supporting me.
My average donation's under $30, and coincidentally, I also have under 30 of them.
And I can tell you that's a blessing, and it's my honor to serve in Congress, not only to serve my district, but to serve all America First patriots all over the country. They know I'm here fighting for them, and I will never back down. And that's why they're supporting me, and I just can't tell you how wonderful it is. So thank you to everyone if you're watching.
If you would, and just quickly, please, Paul Hodgkins today was sentenced in a felony. He's going to serve 8 months in prison. He's never had any kind of prison record. He was nonviolent on January 6th. He committed essentially trespassing, and yet his life has essentially been ruined. Your thoughts on that sentence handed out today?
I think it's out.
Trespassing into a government building while part of a mob which had the intent to kill politicians. Isn't that like... If you do realize that if you break and enter into a house, you don't get 8 months, right? Just so you guys know, in case you have any illegal activities like planned, you got some on your itinerary. If you break into a person's house and you have a gun on you and you get arrested before you kill anyone, you're gonna get more than 8 months. He claims trespassing. Was he inside? Wait, am I thinking of the other person? Hold on, wait. Jan 6 rioter sentenced. This is the person who got in the building, right? Felony sentencing, 8 months in prison with 24 months of supervised release. Yeah, he entered the Senate chamber and was taking selfies, appeared prepared for conflict. Yeah, so first of all, trespassing and breaking and entering are two different things. Trespassing is when you're on the property. Breaking and entering is when you break in to a building you don't have the right to be in, which is what they did. That's a different thing. I don't know why I'm arguing this.
Outrageous. You know, and I have no problem saying that these January 6 defendants are being treated like political prisoners of war. One of the things I did last week in California is I toured the border, and I also got to see one of the detention facilities that ICE and our U.S. Marshals use. And I can tell you for a fact, illegals that break our laws entering our country and also have broken laws and are waiting their court dates, they are treated far better than these January 6 defendants, especially those that are being held in the deplorable jail right here in Washington, D.C.
What? So much about this is really indicative of the fact that, again, if somebody firebombed a Democratic office and killed a bunch of blue congressmen, that Marjorie Taylor Greene would be defending the firebombers. Lying about the things that they did, defending them, claiming that they're prisoners of war, which kind of implicitly suggests that she's on their side of a conflict against the United States government. And then, for the first time in her life, caring about the prison conditions of criminals. Has Marjorie Taylor Greene ever in her life cared about that before? Is that ever something Marjorie Taylor Greene has ever cared about, ever, at any point? These people who are arrested are in poor jail conditions. Probably not, but for these guys...
Now, they've been charged with crimes and they deserve their day in court. And of course, none of us condone the violence that happened on January 6th. But this is beyond out of control. And this is not who we are as a nation. We should be a nation that has laws, law and order and justice in our courts, but not a nation that treats people so badly just because we disagree with their political stance and want to humiliate them. And you know, this is
with an 8-month sentence for breaking into the Capitol building? Damn. It's pretty easy, you know? That's pretty good, all things considered. That's a pretty lucky break. There are kids out there who get 2 years in jail for having a dime bag of weed on them, you know? And like 8 months for breaking into the Capitol building. Okay.
Democrats are doing. They want to humiliate all people that support President Trump and are not satisfied with the election outcome and are not happy with the Biden regime that is ruling right now in Washington,
Long live
D.C.
Comrade Biden.
And so that's what they're doing. It's through intimidation.
I wish we had more time with you, but really quickly before we go, because they're yelling in my ear, but the January 6th committee, the members have been selected. I know you had wanted to be on that committee. I just want to get your reaction to that.
I am hoping to see good things out of this committee, and I will continue to be very vocal about it.
What are
because
good things?
I did want to serve on the committee, because for once, I want to see people fighting. I want to see Republicans standing up to the Democrats that use these committees like witch hunts against...
Okay, so yeah, she's pro the January 6th riot. So yeah, I don't condone the violence they engaged in, but I wish I was on the committee just to make sure that, you know, we could prevent them from actually being investigated and charged.
People like President Trump and Republicans in Congress, and then the people back at home. So I had asked to be placed on that committee because I want to stand up for truth, and I will not allow the abuse that we've had to go through, especially after what we saw with the Russian collusion conspiracy lies. And you talk about propaganda. That right there was propaganda that was spread for years. And we're disgusted. The American people are disgusted with what happened with the Russian collusion conspiracy and all that we had to see over and over with these hearings and committees and people being...
One of the things that really bugs me about lefties is that they gave up on this talking point. The end result of all the Russian collusion stuff is that there were people in Trump's cabinet, or not cabinet, sorry, in Trump's administration who were explicitly corrupt and were trying to collude with the Russian government. They just weren't able to get anything on Trump directly. And there's overwhelming evidence that Russia did use a social media and like a intelligence agency firestorm to try to influence the results of our election with the explicit intent of favoring Donald Trump. Like, all of that has been proven true. It was never proven that Donald Trump himself was some agent of Putin, though it is certainly convenient that he seemed to do everything Putin would have wanted him to do and played defense for him and trusted Putin over his own intelligence agencies. But agent of Putin. Thank you, chat, for always bringing that top-tier political analysis. Receipts for the Kalinskyites here. It's not controversial. Guys, how many indictments and how many charges came out of the Mueller investigation? Wasn't it like something like 24 indictments and like half a dozen arrests or something? It was a lot. Like, yeah, stuff happened. And if you ever want, you can take a look at the there was a big article published. And by big, by the way, I mean like really, really big. Here's 966 pages. It's a lot. You can read it for fun if you want, or you can find a news article that summarizes it. That's, you know, that's a choice that only you can make. Most lefties are kind of suspicious on how that whole thing went down because Bernie lost the primary too. I'm not sure what you mean. Why is the quality so bad? Because it's a government thing, so they don't care about convenience. Because they hate us and we hate them. Because they despise us, just, you know. Kremlin papers appear to show Putin's plot to put Trump in the White House. This is a more recent thing. I haven't looked into this extensively, but yeah, something like this. Vosh. Ah, here we go. Thank you. Who just posted that? Who just posted that? Wally's channel. Thank you. Here we go. The Senate Select Committee on Intelligence confirmed what the Mueller report could not. Yeah, here you go. This is what I looked at. It was from The Atlantic. Thank you very, very much. Is this not the one that I remember? Well, I looked at this, and then I looked at some other thing, I guess, because I remember this image, but then I remember a long article. Well, anyway, just go look it up if you want. Just go look it up. Just finish the damn video.
Persecuted in their lives, everyday lives, and accused of things they didn't do, especially President Trump and his family. But this is what we're going to see coming up with Nancy Pelosi's January 6th committee. And so I hope the Republicans placed on this committee are ready for a fight, because we can't allow this to continue anymore. We've got to defend our freedoms and stop communism that's definitely trying to take over our land.
Yeah, we sure do. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Dude, I need to be a conservative. I would have so much fun doing this. Oh my, I would have the time of my life being a lunatic like this, okay? I could just be here, up here, you know? We need to oppose critical race theory in our schools, which teach the Marxist ideology that whiteness is a bourgeois property and that property that is private should be abolished. Ergo, they want to abolish white people. If you think what I just said sounded really dumb, that was almost word for word a James Lindsay tweet from less than 24 hours ago. So I didn't make that up. It was from him. I don't believe you. Why wouldn't you believe me? It's James Lindsay.